Hello, thank you for joining me in the presentation of my field biology project. My name is Irene Fonseca and I'm in 11th grade, and my project is named Capstooth, and our slogan is Smarter Decisions One Capsule at a Time. So these are the few of the topics that we will be discussing in my presentation. My objective was to create a toothpaste using natural ingredients and a packaging that is environmentally friendly in order to reduce the amount of harm that goes into the environment with regular commercial toothpaste. So I'm going to explain a little bit of how the idea for this came out. So maybe you're familiar with the video that went viral 3 or 2 years ago, in which there was this turtle, this sea turtle, that had a plastic straw stuck in its nose. So when I saw that video, it was very life changing for me, and I just wanted to see what I could do to help the issue. So I started reducing. I stopped buying using plastic straws, and then I also was very conscious of not buying plastic water bottles or any other product that came in any plastic packaging. And so I became a more conscious buyer. But I had some issues because I am a person that because I'm the opposite of a minimalist. I love, like, I always have, if you go into my bathroom, you would see how I have a lot of like skincare products and a lot of um well, a lot of products in general. So what I did for myself is that I wanted to change every single product of my bathroom cabinet to a green friendly product. So I first started with changing my face cleanser, then my moisturizer, then the hand wash that I used, even my sunscreen, my perfume, and face cream and everything. But when it came down to changing my toothpaste, it was very hard, and there were no options in the market for a container that was green friendly. So I wanted to create this product to help with this issue that was also personal, but I thought that it would help lots of people. And also during this whole process, I kind of became a victim of greenwashing, because I saw how many of these companies that claim to be very green weren't so green as they thought, and that it was becoming more of like a commercial strategy rather than an actual like initiative to help the world be better. So that's how, combining all of these experiences that I had, I came with the idea of making this project. So the opportunity relies on the lack of organic and sustainable products such as toothpaste in the market. As climate change concerns uh, increment increases. And if we were specifically talking of a country like Costa Rica, in which the consumer trends have shown how Costa Rica, residing in a country with such a big biodiversity and so many natural resources to take advantage of, a niche has developed on the market for small companies to sell their products. And also, another opportunity that I saw is how Costa Rica has so many initiatives that incentivize local buying, that I wanted to take advantage of that, and I saw how maybe my product would have. How, considering all these factors, I strongly believe in the opportunity that toothpaste capsules will be a successful product. Um, the sustainable development goals that align with my project is number 12, which is responsible consumption and production. My project is aiming to be a replacement of normal toothpaste products in order to reduce the use of plastic toothpaste containers, and also to make buyers aware of the harming ingredients that are in commercial toothpaste. And then the other goal would be goal number 13, climate action. And this is shown with the initiative on doing this green friendly product, because now consumers and producers now are facing the demand of making products that will ensure that our earth won't be harmed. Now I'm going to talk a little bit of my trial and error phase of my project, in which I first started with researching many of the possible resources, possible recipes, sorry, that I could use for my project. So my end goal was to have a complete line of products so that the consumer could decide which one fits their preferences better. So if something is true from the type of consumer that I'm addressing is that they are very knowledgeable of the type of products that they want to buy, and they look for it to acclimate to their needs and diet. For example, if they consume a vegan diet, we will produce a vegan toothpaste capsule and be sure to give it a big label on the packaging. And this will be done for the purposes of learning the consumer. Or also the coconut recipe is a response to the demand that coconut now has on the market, since it has been shown that it's a high selling product and that is very appealing to the type of consumers that I want. So that's how I came down to these three recipes that I was going to try. Only that in the end, I had to just decide on one recipe, and this my final recipe was kind of a mixture of the most important ingredients, or the ones that I thought that were most beneficial. And also, since we were dealing with coronavirus at the time, and we were already in lockdown, it was harder for me to get many of the ingredients from the other recipes. So I had to work with what I had, and these were ingredients that were easy to get from a Glow or a Rappi, or that I had already at my home. But even besides that, those ingredients are still very beneficial, and work very well. And you can see that the ingredients are coconut oil, activated carbon, essential oils, baking soda, and well, they're very simple. And this is the final procedure of my project, but it's basically that I just mixed everything together. Then I had to store it in the freezer so that the mixture had a better consistency. And then I laid it down on the wax sheet of paper, and I put in little bowls so that they look close to capsules. And then I just left them on the stove so that they would harden by themselves. And then with a little grinder, I shaped them into a more capsule-like shape. And then I was done. So here you can see on the left the picture of how the capsules were looking when I was doing them. And then the other two videos that don't show up for I don't know why, but there's just some time lapses of me mixing the mixture and also the whole process of making it. I encountered many errors when I was doing my trial and error phase, and some of the errors I wish didn't happen because they were kind of fatal. Some of them. So first of all, on my first try doing the mixture, I added 1/4 of activated carbon, and this made the mixture way too dark and unappealing. And it was important for me to make the tablets as close to commercial toothpaste as possible, and the black paste looked kind of disgusting. So I corrected this by just adding a minimal pinch of carbonated charcoal in the final recipe. And then the original recipe contained only 1 tablespoon of baking soda, but I switched that to 2 tablespoons because the coconut oil made the consistency too liquid. So I corrected it that way. Another extra step that I added was that to make the mixture easier to control, I stored it in the freezer for 10 minutes so that it hardened for the process of making it to balls was easier. And then the last error that I made, I like to call it the air fryer tragedy, since I thought that maybe I could use my air fryer to accelerate the process of drying the tablets. So I placed them in the wax paper and set the oven to 180 degrees and the timer to 5 minutes. And this was a big mistake considering that wax paper, when put in the machine, cuts fire. So when I came back to the kitchen, I could smell that something was burning. I quickly checked the air fryer and it had smoke coming out of it. And ever since that, the machine doesn't work. And my mom has made me buy a new one with my own money, and it's very expensive. So it was a big mistake for me. But now what I did is that I just left them undisturbed, and it took maybe about an hour for them to harden. Here is a photo gallery, and you can see how the many mistakes. On the left, you see how the mixture was way too dark with all of the that activated carbon, and also way too liquidy. And then here you can see the air fryer and how all of the little capsules got stuck in the inside of the machine, and also how the wax paper caught fire. And also here's another video that doesn't show up. I don't know why, but it's of me reacting to how my experiment fail. So the packaging was one of the greatest challenges because I first when I was brainstorming it, I thought of maybe doing it on wood or maybe designing my own type of material with I don't know with many plant fibers or well I was thinking a lot of things of how I could make my packaging, but in the end I thought that if I did it myself it would affect the appearance of the product, so instead I went to Pequeño Mundo and I looked for packaging options that were ecological. So I found this on the left side, this cardboard container, and the good thing about and it was made of recycled cardboard, and this is good because it uses 75% of the energy needed for other materials, so it's still a little bit better than other materials. And also after the styrofoam ban in Costa Rica, many companies have switched to use this alternative, so I thought that I could benefit from that. And then I also found this glass container from Pequeño Mundo, but it has some pros and cons to it. And the cons is that it's heavier and it's not convenient for traveling. So it wasn't the best option, but it had some good thing, and it was that this packaging would be used if I were to sell my product in granel stores, because buyers from those stores like to store things in glass jars. So I thought that would be a good option for my other line of products. Here is the final product. That's how the capsules end up looking. Um, you can see. And then market and future plans. So I was going to start by getting my friends and family to use this product, and since the toothpaste is an element of the canasta básica, I thought that that would make it easier for me to for them to at least try to use it. I don't know if the process of them switching from their Colgate or favorite brand would be as easy, but maybe they would at least try it. But also in future plans, I would like my product in supermarkets such as the Green Center, that it's very close to my house, or even the automercado, or even the automercado, because I'm aware that they have undergone an initiative to become a more green concerned store. So I would sell my products to them by saying how it would improve the range of products and how it will attract the type of customer that I'm aiming. And also, since I'm a personal supporter of Granel's, bookstores or tiendas de granel, I would incorporate the glass jar as my packaging solution. And I strongly believe that we need to make an effort on switching to this type of stores where you bring your own containers to buy your products. Um, so that's some of the future plans that I have for my product. Um, so speaking of the budget, the two packaging options that I have right now is the cardboard and glass bottles. So the glass bottles cost 400 colones, which is a little bit expensive, and the cardboard they sell in bigger quantities at 75 colones each. And the cost for the recipe is about 575 colones per batch of 15. And since only 5 capsules go per packaging, that leaves that 266 is the cost of fabricating a set. But I think that I would sell it just for a bit more so that I could profit a little bit. In conclusion, I was very happy with my results. In the end, I'm sure that this is a project that many people will like, and I actually, and I like actually, and it is actually helping the earth. I have begun using the capsules as my product of choice since they really do work and leave the mouth feeling clean and fresh. The development of the product has helped me understand the importance of even how easy it is to make stuff for ourselves. Our grandparents and grandmas had local buying trends, and most products were homemade rather than bought in big commercial stores. This has been a wake up call for me to start doing more things myself and to be more aware of what I'm putting in my body. I would like to invite more people to join me on making better choices and to put in the effort of being a good consumer or potential consumer. Thank you.